Haven't done an update in a while on the truck. As you can see, I painted it. Got all that done. Went through, sanded it. I've done it a couple times, and the paint is absolutely not perfect. But I went to my paint shop and grabbed some onyx black that they threw some red pearl in. I'm going to switch all the color to red. I was going to do the green because I like it, but it's a little bit expensive to get that color green. But I've buffed it and wet sanded some of it. I still got tons more to do on it. This is my first time painting. Really first time with all of it. The priming, the mixing of paint, learning how to use the gun properly. It's all Harbor Freight stuff that I bought. I bought their gun. It works really good. I bought a compressor from them. However, the compressor doesn't keep up with the low pressure, high volume gun. It means it needs 20 PSI, but it needs it all the time and steady. Well, I was doing the bed, and you can tell a difference in the bed to the truck. I did one panel, and then the compressor kicked on while I was mixing a little bit of paint, and I did the other panel. Well, it came out 100% better. I started on the cab of the truck and got to the roof from the center, and then I was coming out this way. And by the time I got to the top of the door, it was orange peeled. It was pretty bad. And I ended up doing the whole truck that way. So I sanded the whole cab down, redid the entire cab, and painted it again. And that's when I figured out that it's not me, it's actually the compressor, because I figured it was me. But I did that. This tractor paint's kind of soft. It scratches easy, so it really needs to be kind of wet sanded and then get a good clear coat on it. I still have to do the bumpers, the mirrors, the inside trim and stuff. But other than that, I got all the air leaks fixed. Everything looks the same inside. Everything on the rear is pretty much the same. I got some caps burnt and bent at work to go over your C-notch and stuff. But I figured I'd throw something up here. Just show progress on it. But everything looks good. I mean, even with the green headlights and the green caps with the black looks really good until you get it in the light. And then the day I got it done and put together, my wife backed into it. Kind of mad about that, but I was going to take the headlights out anyways. I just didn't want to have to do it right now. But like I said, the paint, it did come out good. You can see in the paint where I was actually using too heavy of a grit for wet sanding. I went through the rims. All four of the rims were painted black. Well, there's only 3 rims on here that are actually chrome. This one back here was a plasti dip. They had a white primer with plasti dip on it. So I used the, I can't think of what it's called, the airplane paint remover. And it was really easy to get it off the other 3, but that one back there, once the airplane paint remover hit it, oh, it was rough. It like hardened, turned it into a rock. So I actually took a buffing pad, a 40 grit buffing pad on the grinder, and I went through and I sanded everything down. Mind you, I did this with the wheel on. I was just getting the majority off. I'm going to take each one of the wheels off and clean it up a lot better, and then I am going to recoat it. I'm just not sure what color yet, but you can see where this is all buffing crap on here. I could go back through and tape the windows, and I just got tired of it sitting. Went and drove around for a while. But everything holds pretty good. The rear end is still exactly the same as what it was. I got a spot in the bed so I can get to the compressors, the light junction for the rear and all that, and the compressors under there, and of course you got the cap for that, which I got something bent in the shop right now that I can set right over it, but I still got tons of stuff to clean back here. I'm gonna raise the bed floor. I'm gonna leave the holes that are in here. I'm not gonna fill them up, and I'm gonna raise the bed floor about maybe 6 inches. I cut this hole mainly for the battery, and when I did my measurements, because I wasn't around the truck, I did my measurements. You can see I went the wrong way with the hole, so I screwed that up. And then directly underneath there are my valves, so I want to clear that out too. So all I got to do is take one piece that'll be back here, take it out, and then I can get to my valves, I can get to the battery, whatever, and then have another piece on the back side of the notch to do the same thing. If something goes wrong back there, I don't have to pull the entire bed off to get to it. But I'll go ahead and lay it down. And I'll have another video on here. I have one that's kind of edited, and I screwed all that crap up. And that was not with the truck all the way up. I actually had probably 4 or 5 more inches on the rear and a couple inches on the front. But it is a project, something for me to work on, and it's not just beat to death by other people to where I'm spending a shit ton of money trying to fix it. The motor works good. It's got 74,000 miles on it now. And hell, me and my son just drove to the store this morning, so I have full confidence in almost everything about the truck. The only thing I haven't got into yet was the steering. On the screen, it would be your left side is towed in more than the right, and I've messed with it probably 5 or 6 times, and I can't figure out how to get it to be towed right. But like I said, I got another video that's gonna go on here, and it'll be a little bit more about what I used to paint, what I did to prep. And I did this in a shop. I mean, you can do it in a, man, you could do it right here. I mean, outside. You just got to take precautions on what's around you. It's really, you just want to take the steps to clean it, to sand everything real good, degrease everything real good. I degreased this truck all the way around it probably 4 times, and then went through with a tack cloth getting dust off. There'd be more dust in my shop than there would actually being out in the open. Just with a door shutting or whatever, the dust will settle after sweeping and wetting the entire floor. There's still dust up in the air on the walls, so, but it came out pretty good. And then me learning how to wet sand and then buff it, that was a whole nother challenge. I burnt through the paint in a couple spots, and that's actually just a lack of coats too. You kind of want to know how many gallons of paint it's going to take, and then once you figure that out and you're doing this the first time, buy some extra. The more coats you can get on this, the better chance you have to wet sand a layer down and then buff it. Every time you wet sand and you buff, you're taking a layer of paint off. So if you only got 2 kind of thick coats, you're going to take almost 1.5 coats off of it, wet sanding and buffing, and you'll have nothing left after that. But this is just a single stage paint. There was absolutely nothing to it. I was nervous going into it, and then after I messed it up painting it the first time and had to sand it back down, I said to myself I didn't want to do that again. So I got a little bit better on it, which, like I said, I still have buffing to do. Still got to get the bed done. Truck runs and drives, everything's pretty well good on it, but I'll have another video here within the next couple days put on here. But it's looking good so far. I'll keep everybody posted.